Welcome to Winfield's week of Rugby League, in fact week 2 of the 1987 semi-final action, and just 4 teams remaining now in the hunt for the Winfield Cup. Let's go straight to the action, and of course the Saturday semi-final between Souths and Canberra. And as we go to the kick-off, remember it is sudden death semi-final time for the loser. They're out altogether in 1987.
The State Bank Big Game presents the Winfield Cup.
Hello and welcome to the Sydney Cricket Ground for this minor semi-final in the 87 Winfield Cup between Canberra and South Sydney. For the Canberra Raiders, this is their second chance after Eastern Suburbs defeated them last Sunday, and their full team is Belcher, Kinner, Henjack, Jackson, Corkery, O'Sullivan, Walters, Lance, Captain, Coyne, Gilbert, Bacco, S. Walters and Todd. The Rabbitohs also live again to fight another day after their sudden death 15 points to 12 win over Balmain last Saturday, and their full team readout today is Phil Blake, Moon, Michael Blake, Cruikshank, Marvin, Neville, Coleman, Ellison at lock in number 6, Chisholm, Davidson, Boyle, Fennick, Roberts. Mick Stone is the referee in this crucial match, which will see either South Sydney or Canberra drop out of the race for the Winfield Cup. Well, Mick Stone's getting them underway now for this sudden death semi-final. South Sydney running from left to right. Canberra receiving the ball, and Canberra or South Sydney are going to be out of this Winfield Cup after today. It's going to be a battle of the giants. I'm expecting a very torrid affair, and this man in possession at the moment, Sam Bacco, will have some control of the game with his strength and pace around the ruck. And South Sydney will also be very aware of the fact that they failed to score a try against Canberra in the competition this year, something that they'll be hoping to rectify today. First penalty of the match. Jackson, I think, will take the kick. Gets a fair one away. It goes over the touchline on the halfway line. Canberra got to beware of mistakes. They made some ones that were very costly in last week's match against Eastern Suburbs. Walters away to Bacco, who's patently fired up for this event. That's a good surging run close to the ruck. Out to Henjack. Ashley Gilbert motoring forward. They're making good ground. Walters out to Coyne, back on the inside to Brett Todd. Well taken pass there by O'Sullivan. It was down around his knees. Play on the 5th tackle, about 8 metres outside the South Sydney quarter. Jackson kicks ahead. Marvin takes it and drops it. And gets a rousing reception from the Canberra players who poured in on him.
So an excellent start by Canberra. Their forwards are getting deep and running onto that ball, making good yardage in the rucks. And a major mistake from South. Look for Gary Belcher to get involved in the back line for the Raiders.
And Jack feeds the scrum. He's playing halfback again today. Corkery running crossfield. O'Sullivan at dummy half. Out to Belcher. Turns it back on the inside, and that was Jackson coming straight ahead. Well, they've struck for the ball and they play the ball, South Sydney, and come up with it. So the pressure off. Good looping run out there by David Cruikshank. But it's all gone for nothing over the sideline. Incredible mistakes from South. David Cruikshank. This long ball that really wasn't on, way out in front here for Moon. And the pressure comes back on again. A clean feed here from the Raiders. Belcher will be looking to get involved in the back line. I thought he was going to do it from the other scrum, but the ball just came out skew-if, so they didn't get a clean feed. It looks very much to me as though there are a lot of nerves in the South Sydney side, on the flanks anyway. Jason Moon and Marvin. Canberra come up with the ball. Belcher back inside to Jackson. O'Sullivan, Corkery. Corkery steps, goes away from the sideline. Swarming defence puts him down 15 metres out. Walters, Dean Lance straight ahead, about 9 metres out from the line. Walters, Henjack, O'Sullivan, Ashley Gilbert. Brought down with a good tackle. Brent Todd on a Coyne. Coyne running strongly. Gets decked only about 5 metres out from the line. Walker's looking for support there. Gets it in the shape of Ashley Gilbert again. Only about 4 metres away. Henjack drives the ball deep. And it's a try. It's a try to O'Sullivan. Come up very smartly. The ball's ricocheted from the grubber kick. And Canberra have struck, and they've struck very early. It's only 4 and a bit minutes. See it again.
And on the State Bank replay, pressure. And pressure brought about by not making mistakes from Canberra. They've been using the ball. It's been sharing it through the forwards and out to the backs. The kick straight across the field. They got the perfect rebound. Chris O'Sullivan on the spot. And what a start for the Raiders. South Sydney have brought this on themselves. 2 major mistakes. One from Maven, one from David Cruikshank. Nobody to blame but themselves.
Absolutely critical for Canberra that Belcher takes his time about these kicks. He's not a regular goal kicker, but he has been practicing a lot. And the 2 joint coaches of the Canberra Raiders, Ferner and Bennett, looking on anxiously. Belcher makes the extras, so there's the score. Canberra 6, South Sydney 0. Coleman, Ellison, Marvin, and flattens straight away. No big pardons. Coleman onto Davidson, runs hard. Well, there's a South Sydney player, I think, has decked a Canberra man there, and I believe it was Wayne Chisholm, who's thrown a punch on Coyne, and I think he's knocked him to the ground with a 1 punch. I may be wrong there. We saw him falling in the back play there.
Well, no doubt that Coyne was, well, there he was hanging on to Craig Coleman in back play, and Wayne Chisholm decided to take action himself. He's got to leave those decisions with the referee, Mick Stone. South's had all the ball and we're in an advantageous position there to go on with it and try and hit back straight away. But now it should be a penalty to Canberra Raiders.
Well, Chisholm getting the talking to, and Mario Fennick has had his say to Chisholm, and now the penalty goes to Canberra, so the pressure momentarily off. Coyne's up and about. He's actually got a bit of a smile on his face. Kick for touch is a good one. Takes play from the centre of the field over the sideline about 5 metres beyond the halfway line. Brent Todd ploughing forward. There's Sam Bacco getting up some knots. Look at him go. That's a great run by the big front row forward. Very powerful. Sprinting it out now wide to O'Sullivan. Sights a little gap. Goes for it. Taken out by Neville. And I think the referee looked away just at the moment that that player was taken down. There's the grubber kick again. Marvin fields it, loses it. Oh, the ball's in goal. It's another try. It's Belcher's come up with a try, and Marvin is in disarray. Cruikshank, well, was somebody there from South Sydney, I didn't pick the player, was there in attendance on him, and Marvin put his hand up and the ball deflected. See it again.
On the State Bank replay, and again Peter Jackson picks out Steve Maven. He can only get a hand to it. He knocks Phil Blake out of the way. David Cruikshank, the man that did get back, I'm sorry. Belcher certainly on the spot. They were nice and flat. They read that the kick was on. It was well planned, the whole move, and they've picked Maven out to absolutely terrorise him in these opening minutes. Lack of communications with the fullback and the winger there, and Canberra off to a flying start. Their backs were in good touch in the first half against Eastern Suburbs last weekend. They just couldn't make the most of their opportunities early on, but aren't they doing it today? What a great kick from Jackson and a very well-planned move from the Raiders.
Well, Don Ferner can barely keep the smile off his face. Of course, it's early days. Is there any breeze down there to speak of, David?
Absolutely none, Rex. And it's now gone something like 170 minutes South Sydney without scoring a try against Canberra. They'll be starting to worry right now. Belcher moves in and hooks the ball slightly. It wasn't a terrible bad kick, but it was bad enough not to get the points. So Canberra 10, South Sydney 0. Sensations here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Well, I feel a little bit sorry for Marvin at the moment. He's got himself into a nice old psychological knot about this game. He's had 2 blazing errors from a kick-off and now 1 kick put through to him.
Jackson fields that ball again. That's the third time he's fielded a kickoff. Backo cut out there. It's on to Ashley Gilbert. He's 10 metres beyond the quarter line. Yes, let's have a look at these lower grade results because they've been sudden death too. As the kick goes downfield, under 23, South Sydney 18, Cronulla 8, and the reserves, Parramatta 16, East 6. So South Sydney and Parramatta go on. Phil Blake. That's to Coleman. Didn't give that pass because Coleman hadn't dropped back behind him. Boyle powering his way back to the quarter. I reckon Coleman will be doing some talking now. Chisholm spins through a tackle. Makes a good inroad. They're only about 12 metres from the halfway line now. Coleman again. There's the kick over the top. Well, the kick's been made a meal of there by Belcher, but fortunately Kinner came in from the right flank and he's defused that situation. There's Belcher now, lumping the ball up against the South Sydney defence, which just slowed down there momentarily. Corkery standing in a tackle. There's Walters, the halfback. Kevin Walters, running from dummy half and not very successfully. Brent Todd powering his way through. Like to see him stand a bit deeper. Jackson changed direction there and dropped the kick down behind the defence. The ball ricochets off Marvin again. He's got it to Coyne. Coyne's got a pass back on the inside. Beautifully taken by Handjack. And it's another try to Canberra. Oh, astonishing. And Marvin is down on his knees at the moment. Have a look at him. The poor lad. There's an absolute shock for him. Oh, heavens above. Everything in his world has fallen about him at the moment. He can't believe that rugby league can be as cruel as this. Let me tell you, it can, son, from long and woeful experience. See it again.
Well, this certainly wasn't planned on this occasion. On the State Bank replay, the man can't really be blamed. He was trying to trap this ball, racing away, got an awkward bounce. The defence was certainly there in great numbers, and it was a good selection of passes here from Coyne, although this pass here was brilliantly half-volley by Henjack to scoop it up and go away for the third try for the Canberra Raiders. You've got to feel sorry for Maven on this occasion. In the first two, well, no doubt they were certainly his fault. The ball landed in an awkward area for him and the bounce certainly didn't favour him. But Canberra, their enthusiasm's enormous. South Sydney now in all sorts of trouble about having to hit back. They've got to use the likes of Davidson when he gets nice and deep.
Now George Piggins has gone to the sideline. There he goes out there. I wouldn't be at all surprised that it's to see somebody come from the field, but we shall see. Belcher's kick is successful. So do you believe this scoreline here? Canberra 16, South Sydney 0. Well, Marvin is being taken from the field. And David, you've got a replacement?
Yes, Mark Ross is the man coming on. Steve Maven, obviously very much a confidence player. His confidence has been torn to pieces today in the opening 15 minutes of this match, and I really think it is a wise move by coach George Piggins.
Well, I do too. I've got nothing but sympathy for him. It's a horrible sight to see a young player going off the field like that. But anyway, Roberts to Ellison. The Canberra defence now on the last tackle. And there's a penalty. Mario Fennick and Henjack are going at it. Mario Fennick has turned the head and put his hands up. There's no question that he doesn't want to get involved in anything in the way of any fisticuffs. He was very calm about that. That's a plus as far as I'm concerned.
Well, calm as anything on a hot day. Mario saying, geez, out the flies bad to Michael Stone.
And South Sydney now have this opportunity to get on the board. He's got it. So at last, South Sydney, relief, they're on the board, 16-2, Canberra. Belcher to get it on the mound. Good crowd here in attendance and very, very noisy. interesting statistic to come out of the opening 20 minutes of this game. South Sydney in possession held South Sydney 10 tackles, Canberra for 30 tackles. And the turning point in this first half was 2 tries in the space of 6 minutes to Canberra. Mario Fennick, midway between the quarter and the halfway. Back to Ellison, belts it downfield with a right foot kick. Belcher will get to this. Now he's let Kinner, the winger, take it. It's not a bad sort of a run. He was surrounded by defenders. He's brought it back 5 or 6 yards. Oh, good strong shoulder charge there by Chisholm. Walters, Todd, just out beyond the quarter. And there's a penalty for holding the player's foot. Brent Todd was the player. And Boyle, one thinks, was the transgressor.
Just can't afford to keep on coming up with a penalty, South Sydney. They've just got to score quickly to hit back and get back into the game. Canberra have really nothing more to prove now in this first half except keeping the play controlled, not losing those balls in possession. But South have put a young man by Darryl Neville in at 5'8". He can certainly attack. So they've just got to, as I said before, not bunch and not get that frustrated. When you do that, you tend to play one-out football and run away from your support. So they've just got to keep their cool.
Waters, Henjak, Coyne backslammed hard right in the middle of the cricket pitch. That wouldn't have done him any good. Henjak, Jackson, halfway through the tackle. Davidson over the top. Todd, one-handed pass back to Jackson. They're not making any ground, but they're passing the ball very confidently at the moment. There's Sam Bacco, not standing anywhere deep enough to get himself wound up. Got a pass away to Coyne. It's out there to Henjak. Henjak searching for O'Sullivan's found him. He's up there and he's got a pass back on the inside. It's gone to Ashley Gilbert, and Ashley Gilbert's over for a try, and it's a sensational try. A brilliant try to the Canberra side, who used pace and put that one down originally to the man that stood in the tackle.
When you're hot, you're hot. On the State Bank replay, there was some argument as to whether Sam Bacco had been held long enough here to be called upon to play the ball. I think a few of the South players were asking the question of Mick Stone, but when he did, didn't Canberra go into overdrive? O'Sullivan again slices through the gap there, looks back inside the pass, is far too great. Belcher did well. He obviously heard a call from behind him to leave it alone, and Ashley Gilbert's the man who gets that perfect bounce of the ball. Canberra, everything's going their way. The big man's causing trouble when he's taking the ball up, Bacco, and he just finds that space out wide again. There's the support. Always someone there as somebody hits the line for Canberra. Great little ball there to put O'Sullivan through the gap, and plenty of support back inside. But just watch this bounce. It's happening that way right throughout the first half. Nothing going wrong for South Sydney as the Raiders go in under the black dot.
Gets the extras. So the score now hastens on. Canberra 22, South Sydney 2. Henjak feeds the scrum. Out to O'Sullivan. Cut out pass to Walters. Walters has got it away to Belcher. Belcher's on the hike upfield. He gets it away there to the wing three-quarter Corkery, who's out only about 2 metres from the corner flag. A good intrusion there by Gary Belcher to come in and break the South Sydney line. Here he is.
And Belcher and Jackson certainly mean a lot to this Canberra side. They're great runners from open play and certainly find plenty of spaces out there in this South Sydney defences today. South's tending to move across field instead of coming up in a straight line and taking out man for man.
The referee listening to a report from Michael Blake that the scrum will go down. There'll be no penalty for this. I think Coleman had to fall on that at the base of the scrum. Yes, he did. Now South Sydney have got to start the job of clearing their line at this point. Neville comes away with a good sidestepping run, gets out 3 metres from the quarter line. Coleman. Ellison. Beautifully to Ross. Ross goes upfield, steps inside his man. Is taken by Belcher. Got to pass away to Mario Fennick. Mario Fennick's lost the football. And that's a pity because that was the first occasion, and we've seen in something like 28 minutes that some action from South Sydney was going to look good.
And South are certainly going to look to the likes of Phil Blake and Les Davidson to lift their game, but what they've got to do is exactly what they did in this passage of play. Just support each other. They've got to get behind each other, plenty of enthusiasm, and get there when that man hits the line.
Canberra back in possession. O'Sullivan, Jackson. Gee, this O'Sullivan and Henjak, two of the lesser names one would think in terms of being a great player, considered to be. They do a marvellous job for this Canberra side when they're in form. Todd. Jackson too, his improvement this year in the centres for Canberra has been astonishing. Beautiful pass there by him out to Walters. Walters goes upfield, gets it back on the inside to O'Sullivan. Sullivan's tackled on the quarter. Last tackle coming up. Let's see what they do. Jackson's got a kick downfield. Oh, they've let it bounce. Oh, it's another try. This time, Tobacco. South Sydney are absolutely disgraceful. They've lost all confidence. They just let the ball bounce. It's a joke. They would need to have a whole injection of something or other from their coach at half-time to get back into this game. See this again.
On the State Bank replay, the ball in the air and along the ground has caused them so many problems. They've tried to shuffle their team around this week coming into the game with Phil Blake and David Cruikshank, who you saw there allow that ball to bounce, moving in and out of the centre and fullback positions. Phil Blake was caught up there having to make the tackle as the marker. Somebody should have read play and been dropping back into that fullback position, but there were three South Sydney players there. They all had an opportunity to call for the ball, and the bounce, well, near perfect again for Canberra, but three South Sydney players, as I said, just watch it. Michael Blake's there, Les Davidson, and now David Cruikshank coming in, who might have called for that ball, bounced in the middle, and up comes Sam Backo.
As a matter of fact, if you had your way and you were the coach, you'd replace about 8 of them at the moment. Astonishing the way a team goes in and out of form. Anyway, they've got the second half to regroup. Belcher adds the extras. I don't know that I've ever seen a semi-final that's got such a high score before half-time. Canberra 28, South Sydney 2.
And right in the middle of the field here, and centre aside here for both teams, an opportunity for Phil Blake for a little kick across or a chip through for the backs.
Ellison picked it up at the base of the scrum, has locked forward and weaved off to the left. Coleman up to onto Michael Blake. Michael Blake's going to go very close. He's there. I think now the referee's going to go for a double movement. Now I don't necessarily agree with that, but we'll see it again.
It certainly seemed that Michael Blake had stood away from the last line of defence. You'll see him brought down just short of the line. Was he held? Was his momentum stopped? To me, he was certainly clear of that last tackle. I think Michael Stone has ruled incorrectly on this one. Blake being beautifully put into the open spaces back in the inside. The last line of defence, they both slipped off him. That's a try to Souths.
The crowd really in voice at the moment. A very large percentage of this crowd would be South Sydney supporters. Coyne gets 5 metres beyond the quarter line. Waters, Backo, one-handed pass back inside to O'Sullivan. Caught the South Sydney defence snapping. Back to Jackson. Goes to the kick downfield. They're sticking rigidly to their plan. Moon's got it. Oh, it's not going to go over the sideline, no. Moon brings it back towards the quarter. But signs are obvious now that South Sydney are having a lot of trouble keeping up. Some of them are still getting back on side, and the third play, the ball's gone. Fennick in a tackle, back to Coleman. On to Neville. Neville's used his footwork well. Made an inroad of about 15 metres. Good pass out to Boyle. Back on the inside to Ellison. Ellison to Coleman. They tackled midway between the quarter and the halfway. To Fennick. Fennick lost the ball and the tackle. There's still 6 to go. Ian Roberts picks up the dregs and goes for a sprint. Jackson takes him and gives him a heavy tackle. Round the blind side. Neville. Good footwork. Chisholm, Fennick, good pass. Boyle slips as he tries to give it away. There's Coleman, back inside to Mario Fennick. Beautifully to Cruikshank. Cruikshank is going to score a great try, great solo try. Weaved his way beautifully through a defence that just slackened off there for a moment. And they've kept the ball alive, South Sydney, and scored a try. Good stuff. Maybe we'll see a resurgence.
Good share of possession starting to come for South on the State Bank replay. The gaps are starting to come in this Canberra lineup. Should have been a try allowed to Michael Blake. They're starting to support the man with the ball. Some good chain passing from South and plenty of pace from David Cruikshank. The players from broken play like Cruikshank, Phil Blake, Michael Blake, they've just got to be on the ball right throughout the second half if there's going to be any miracle at all at the Sydney Cricket Ground here in the second half. But he found the open spaces and he did well to run around Gary Belcher. A good pass from Fennick a couple of times involved in a movement to keep that ball alive. So some hope, maybe just a glimmer for South Sydney.
Is unsuccessful. So at the half-time break, we've got a scoreline that reads Canberra 28, South Sydney 6. The tries, 5 of them, to O'Sullivan, Belcher, Henjak, Gilbert and Bacco. Belcher's kicked 4 goals from time attempts. For South Sydney, the try went to Cruikshank. Goal 1 from 2 to Ellison. We'll be back from this astonishing game of Rugby League. We'll be back in just a few moments to see what South Sydney can do about it in the second half. Well, 28 points to 6. I wonder whether the South Sydney side have been given words of wisdom or some magical potions being put on their drinking water to get them back into this game. They've made one change, though. David, you can tell us about that.
Yes, I'll just be speaking with the South Sydney Dr. Nathan Gibbs. Ian Roberts is off the field. He had a recurrence of that neck problem. Michael Andrews, the regular lock forward right through the 1987, is the man coming on. That's him in picture at number 8. And also the Canberra side, sensational right on half-time when that try was scored by Cruikshank. Dean Lance has been given 5 minutes in the sin bin for, you'll see it coming up here in picture, an early tackle, in fact, it was on Michael Blake. So 5 minutes in the sin bin for the Canberra captain, but 28 points to 6 the scoreline at half-time.
Well, it's a golden opportunity now for South Sydney, while Canberra are a man short for 5 minutes to get themselves into the action. The kick-off's taken place. That's Mark Ross, the replacement winger that came on. The penalties went 4-all in the first half. The scrums went 5-4 to Canberra. Missed tackles 7 to Canberra, 5 to South Sydney. The handling errors 1 to Canberra and 5 to South. Coleman, Boyle, Davidson working their way upfield. Coleman running at the opposition. Last tackle coming up now as Neville gets slowly to his feet. Phil Blake got a pass back on the inside. There's Boyle. He's got one away. There's 3 very late passes. Fennick got his pass to Chisholm and the referees call that one forward. And Mario actually nodded in agreement with the referee there. South Sydney ball. Ross tried to come from the blindside wing to inject himself in there, but fell to the tackle. Neville. Coleman. Andrews. Davidson. Swung the pass away to Cruikshank. Losing ground in this move. Fennick. Coleman. Ellison. Neville drops it behind him. Doesn't... well, the referees ruled it a knock-on. They're a little bit tough on knock-ons these days. I was under the impression it had to be propelled towards the opponent's goal line with a hand or arm. But that was no way a knock-on. Let Fennick in. Is what the referee's about at the moment. On to Henjak. Long cut-out pass out to Walters. Slips. Good pass away to Belcher. Mailers again, toughing it out, going straight in the head. Lost the ball forward, picked up by Boyle. Now he straightens up. Out to Fennick. Ellison swivels, looks from the inside. Doesn't pass it. Neville, Coleman, Davidson. Got a pass away, but it's gone to ground. Davidson, held by one leg. On to Coleman. That pass was touched in flight. 6 to go. Fennick. On to Davidson, who's trying to be involved in every ruck. Great to be young. That pass was forward from Mario Fennick. Got it away to Chisholm now. One back on the inside to Andrews. Midway between the quarter and Canberra's end of the field and the halfway. Neville. Cut out pass out to Cruikshank. Good pass. He's got some pace, this lad. Look at him go. He's up beyond the quarter. Gets it back inside to Neville. Then the ball went to ground. Picked up by Kenner. He's got a great big circular run he's made now. Got through the gap. Got it away to Jackson. Jackson's got support on the outside. He comes back inside. He's weaving back on the inside now. Corkery runs from dummy half. Gets a pass away to Henjak. Henjak out to Belcher. Belcher to O'Sullivan. Sullivan to Backo. Backo drops it behind him. And the referee's going to call that a knock-on too. Spare me days. Yeah, Michael Blake looks as though he's coming across to talk to somebody about his knee. Yes, Neil Baker's on there for South Sydney. He's going to take up the fullback role.
And Blake's moved into the centres, but Morrissey has now affected that with big Sam Backo coming off to a hero's reception here at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Okay, Morrissey on for Sam Backo. Well, he's going to remember this match for a long while. Good strong play there by South Sydney, but the ball went astray. Coyne's got it for Canberra. Morrissey now in possession. Big lump of a boy. Yes, David, you've got the mighty man, Backo there. Just a moment, Henjak's on O'Sullivan's on the burst. He's got up towards the corner, looks back on the inside, gives it to Jackson. Jackson gets a pass back on the inside. It's gone to Boyle. Boyle gets it away to Mark Ross. Mark Ross is clearing his line. Oh, desperately close there with Canberra. All up, a try scorer, but the last pass went to the wrong man. Yes, I was about to say, you've got a man there that's a bit of a hero this afternoon.
Well, he certainly is a hero, Sam Backo. Sam, a well-earned rest out there. It's been a great performance by the Raiders.
Yeah, mate. I come off. I've got another flu the last couple of days. And I thought it was the worst night last night. So I was doing it a bit hard there.
Well, you're doing it a bit hard. You take a well-earned rest and we'll see you back at the SCG next weekend.
Yeah, well, the boys hold it from here, mate. We'll be there.
Okay, well done, Sam Backo, Rex.
Yes, indeed. He's had a very, very strong game. Very powerful game. Henjak runs from dummy half, gets the pass away, back inside. It's going to be a soft try to O'Sullivan. He's just stripped a tackle and gone over there, changed direction. It's so easy, all so easy. The famous South Sydney spirit has just fallen in a heap at the moment.
And on the State Bank replay, very quick feed from the scrum for Canberra, so they had a head start out of that scrum area from the forwards. Well, the defence there from David Cruikshank just falling off O'Sullivan. All the cover defence had gone looking out wide for the backs of the Canberra Raiders, and it's taken some 13 minutes in the second half for the comeback or the reply from South Sydney to finally fall apart. A couple of chances for them, and the balls have just been spilt when gaps have been on, allowing the possession back to Canberra. If you're going to let a side like Canberra with so much a big share of possession in a game of rugby league, they're going to score tries. They've got a terrific back line, and they know just where those goalposts are.
Well, he's just got that one. That went off the side of his foot slightly. Fortunately, he was in front. So the score now, Canberra 34, South Sydney 6. It It was thought before this match that South Sydney would use the bomb. They resurrected it this year, that they would use the bomb on Gary Belcher, who they deduced had a weakness under pressure. Well, he hasn't shown much of that today. Mind you, he hasn't been put under any pressure. O'Sullivan kicks, the ball taken out of the air. Nicely by Neville, who's been a good player for the South Sydney side, to Ellison. Then away to Cruikshank. Cruikshank's got some pace, he's going strongly. Gets a pass back on the inside, it's gone to ground. I think Morrissey's cleaned it all up. And the penalty's gone to South Sydney.
And 5 minutes in the sin bin for Kevin Walters there, tackling Phil Blake. Michael Stone ruling that Walters tried to affect the tackle before the ball had come to South. And now they're on the move.
Neville stands a man up. He's tackled only about 5 metres out. Now this could be a time when South Sydney, oh, they can't do it that way. A knock on a dummy half when you've got a man off the field just gone off for 5 minutes is just not on. Scrum to go down 10 metres out from the Canberra line. Henjack defeated. And he's penalised the South Sydney lock for detaching himself from the scrum before the ball was out. There's Andrews, he's the man. Kick for touch, finds not a bad touch from there, about 10 metres out beyond the quarter. Todd had a strong game today. Ashley Gilbert too has been a hard man to stop and has found a lot of running out among the backs. Henjack switching it back to the blind side to Lance. Corkery. Over the halfway line now. Todd. Just driven a bit sideways at the end of the run. On a coin. Jackson, the kick ricochets and rebounds off a player. Well, a Canberra player was standing in an offside position, caught the ball and passed it to another player of his team. The referee pinged it. See it again.
And an untidy passage of play from Canberra for 2/3 of the match. Well, it's 2/3 of the match gone now, and there is their offsides to Walters. But can Canberra keep their minds on the job? Is it a case of South Sydney coming back with some sort of respectability in the last 15 or 20 minutes? Not with mistakes like that. If in fact Corkery has got a touch to the ball, the touch judge is ruling that he has touched the ball, so the scrum will go down. But Canberra got to keep their mind on the jobs and see if their defensive line can remain intact.
Just about 7 or 8 metres outside the quarter. Coleman, little knock on or knock back. Referee signalled that. Out to Baker. Baker striding out. He's a good runner. He's got some pace. It's going to be a try to break, is it? He probably got that down. Yes, he did. It's a try to Phil Blake. Certainly the fastest player on this field, over 40 yards. Astonishingly quick. Look at him go.
Good play from Neil Baker on the State Bank replay to commit that Canberra defence to drag the player in. So the only chance of catching Phil Blake was out wide. He's one of the quickest players, if not the fastest on the field. Good play, dummy play in the back line to suck the defence in. And away they go now with Kinder trying to match paces with Blake. In fact, the Canberra winger taking the corner post out over the sideline.
The kick at goal looks a good one. It is a good one indeed. It's just dropped over from the sideline. That's a fine kick. 34 points to 12. Canberra 34, South 12. Is this some sort of a resurgence by South Sydney? Are they going to get respectability? Well, we'll have to wait to see. Coleman, long cut-out pass to Ellison. Ellison there away to number 14, Darryl Neville. Neville gets a pass away there, which has gone to ground. The referee says play on. Now Canberra in disarray at the moment. Mario Fenny comes straight ahead. The last tackle coming up now. Coleman attacking the side that Canberra don't have many players. A little grubber kick's been put through. Should be cleaned up by Belcher. And he's been dragged back into the in-goal area.
So if there are gaps in this defence, and they are starting to open up, Another 6 tackles for South, so we're going to see a lot of play on the quarter line now against the Canberra Raiders, with Phil Blake maintaining a total involvement and Les Davidson. Only 14 minutes remaining though in the game, so time certainly against Souths.
Belcher with a kick. Baker takes it cleanly. Dummies to give it to the winger, who showed himself on the inside. He's got it on the outside now. Rounds it up now. The pass back on the inside has been intercepted by Kevin Walters. So Canberra off the hook. Dean Lance had to go down to that one. I thought there was a player fell over there that was intending to take the football, and the pass went astray. Now Boyle came down with Dean Lance, and Canberra being asked to, what are they being asked to do here? There were knees in the back there, but I think it was probably accidental from Boyle. Phil Carey will come onto the football field. He's number 14 there.
Yes, he's coming on for Peter Jackson, who's had a welcome return to form today. He's been very solid in the centre three quarters for the Canberra Raiders, and a big confidence booster for next weekend.
Yes, he's been a fine player today. His kicking has been instrumental in keeping South Sydney on the back move. Baker gets a kick downfield. It's not going to put terribly much pressure on anyone. Taken by Corkery, who rounds his man and comes back upfield. Now this fella's got pace. He's got himself into the clear. Coleman's there. Coleman's get pushed out of the way. He's over the top of Coleman. Back inside to Carey. Carey to Belcher. And Belcher's going to score a try. No, he's not. He's brought down only about 5 metres out from the line with a great tackle from Phil Blake. Moving it out along the line now to Carey. Carey to Henjack. Henjack stands in a tackle, tries to weave his way back there, but
Mick Stone has been forced to stop the play because a spectator has left the fence. He was shouting at Phil Blake as he made the covering tackle. Maybe this is what South Sydney has been searching for in the second half, a little bit of extra support.
Okay, well, we've got a bit of action going here. There was a kick through put there by Canberra. The race was on, but South Sydney have fallen on it about a metre from their line. We've got 9 minutes to go. Jason Moon in possession now and tearing away out to the 10-metre line. Davidson has done everything as usual at 100 miles an hour. He's a very, very involved footballer. Coleman through the dummy. Got his man through the tackle. That's Andrews. Going to pass away. The pass was knocked down. Picked up by Kinner. Kinner's going to go on and score a try. He is. And he's got no brains because he could have gone round 15 or 20 yards there. Absolutely no brains. He's dived over. As soon as he's crossed the line, he could have gone round 15 or 20 yards.
And this passage of play will just sum it up for South Sydney. Coleman putting Andrews away through here. That pass was probably forward, but it was allowed to go on. And the drop ball here, another mistake, unfortunately, for South. Nothing going their way all day. Kinner right on the spot to pick it up. Their defences might have been starting to tire late in this second half. South have been forced to throw passes like this, trying to push the ball under pressure situations right throughout the second half. And for that, the major part of the second half of the first 40 minutes. But Kinner was there on the spot just to accept it and wrap up the victory for Canberra. South Sydney, mistakes all day long.
I'm told Todd has left the field. David, is that correct?
Yes, Brent Todd off with an ankle injury. Replacement number 23, Glenn Lazarus.
Glenn Lazarus. Belcher moves in. Predictably misses. So the score remains 38 points Canberra, 12 points to South Sydney. Canberra would be just as tired as South Sydney, but they've got the impetus of a good win going for them. It's not a bad kick from Henjack. Put that down at Courtney in the junction of the goal line, the sideline. That little pocket where fullbacks had a lot of trouble. Now South Sydney are very, very slow back in onside. Lindsay Johnson. 3 minutes and 15 seconds in this match. A little kick over the top. Been taken out of the air beautifully by Kinner. Coleman being called out. We'll need to see that again.
And called out for a show of frustration here. The ball being caught. Craig, no doubt, the result of today's victory really wearing pretty thin with him and doing something that he wouldn't normally do there. Doesn't want to do something silly now that's going to see him start the season late in 1988, though.
Well, Belcher has taken to this goal kicking. He enjoys it. He's had a pretty useful day for them. Well, predictably, he's gotten it. So there it is. Gary Belcher's come up with a 6-goal performance here in a Canberra scoreline that reads 40 points to South Sydney's 12. A real whipping. No doubt about it. The Canberra boys have arrived on the Sydney scene. They are a force to be reckoned with. And it is just a little bit sad that they're losing the coaching impetus they've had this season with Wayne Bennett and Don Ferner. From the kick-off, Kinner, the wing three-quarter, just gets beyond his quarter line. Lazarus taking it up. Brennan. 59 seconds to go in this sudden death semi-final. Belcher kicks downfield. It's not a bad kick. It's hemmed Baker into that area again. Well, Jason Moon into that area again where fullbacks have trouble running either way. Canberra just going through the motions now. They've won the game. They won it about, had it won about 17 or 18 minutes ago. South Sydney come with a long cutout pass.
Chase out, Matty. Chase out, Matty. Chase out. Chase out.
Little kick ahead taken by Wallace. He's not going to score a try, is he? Heavens above. He is. Bless my soul. Stephen Walters picked a kick out of the air which was intended to be regathered by David Cruikshank, and he's gone ahead and scored a try. Simple as you please. See it again.
So the Raiders opened with a burst and they've finished this semi-final with another burst. David Cruikshank wanting to try and open it up for Souths to finish on the right note for the Rabbitohs in 1987, but being forced error again in their own quarter line. The Canberra Raiders just capitalising on that to finish this game. So we're now left with 3 teams in 1987, Canberra, Manly and Eastern Suburbs, and it's going to be great for the fans because they all rely on throwing the ball about. They've got plenty of pace, a ton of pace out wide, so the fans are going to be the winners.
Well, you wouldn't want to know he's kicked the goal. So there it is. A very, very heartwarming performance by Canberra for their fans. South Sydney have been put right through the cleaners this afternoon. 46 points to 12. O'Sullivan 2 tries. Belcher 1, Henjak 1, Gilbert, Bacco, Kinner and Stephen Walters. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tries and 7 goals to Belcher. For South Sydney, 2 solitary tries, 1 to Cruikshank and 1 to Phil Blake, and Ellison 2 goals. Congratulations to Canberra. You've arrived on the Winfield Cup scene.
It all started more than 20 years ago when many of us were still pups. 2 big men, though one was small in stature, gave birth to the Winfield Cup. Since that time there've been many who've played the game to the end. They played it tough, but they played it fair and walked off the field as friends. That's what the big game's all about. Giving it the best you can. Playing like a mortal, then playing like Superman. Giving it all you know. Giving it your best shot. 'Cause there are no second prizes. You're a winner or you're not. Who will it be this year? A small man walking tall, or a big man even bigger to collect the greatest prize of all?
So the fairy tale continues for the Canberra Raiders and their coaching staff of Wayne Bennett and Don Furner, who have sounded a warning to the major semi-finalists, Manly and Eastern Suburbs. Now for Manly, the Sunday semi-final clash with East was their first real test of pressure in 1987 in the semi-finals, and most critics were quick to agree that the first 20 minutes of this game was going to decide the outcome. Of course, we're talking about the all-important clash in the forwards as both Manly and East try to search for the shortcut straight to the grand final.
The State Bank Big Game presents the Winfield Cup.
Welcome to this major semi-final in the Winfield Cup from the Sydney Cricket Ground, where today Manly Warringah take on Eastern Suburbs. And the winner of this encounter will be back here on the Sydney Cricket Ground the 27th of September as the first grand finalist. Manly captain Paul Vaughton leads the Sea Eagles out today, and their full team readout is Shearer, Ronson, Williams, O'Connor, Davis, Lyons, Hasler, Vaughton, Cleal, Gibbs, Pocock, Cochrane and Daly. The Eastern Suburbs Roosters are backing up again after their very strong win over Canberra here last Sunday, and their full team today is Worth, Morris, Smith, Melrose, French, Hall, Spina, Truella, Gilmeister, McGahn, Rampling, Simpkins and Shepherd. The referee for our major semi-final is Greg McCullum. Well, which one of these two teams will be in the grand final on Sunday week? 80 minutes will tell. Eastern Suburbs kicked off. Vaughton's in possession and takes a pretty solid tackle just inside the quarter. Manly running from left to right in possession in their maroon uniform. Eastern Suburbs right to left with their tricolour uniform, red, white and blue. Well, Shearer found a bit of space to get a kick in down there. There's plenty of chasers. They've surrounded Gary Worth. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the Manly Warringah side were up there on the kick. Shearer getting a similar sort of a reception from the Eastern Suburbs forward again. It's not a particularly strong kick. David, the wind, is that playing any part in the game?
It's a breeze that will favour the Manly Warringah side in this first half. It's a gusting breeze, and we saw yesterday that it turned around and favoured the side running right to left in the second half. So that's the decision. Paul Vaughton is elected to win the toss and run with the breeze in the first half, and tremendous pressure on their two prop forwards, Daly and Pocock, because already we've seen Rampling and Shepherd, as they did in that match at Henson Park, taking it right up to this Manly defence.
Well, Shepherd's taking it up right now, and he comes to grief 10 metres inside the Manly half. Gilmeister at dummy half there, tries to go for a jog. There's the last tackle coming up now. Truella, away to McGahn, switches the play back to Spina. Spina out to Brendan Hall, and that will be a handover. That's 10 metres outside the Manly quarter.
And very quick to notice that that replacement for Joe Lydon, and the wing David French in 16 is out there in the centres, and David Smith in 3 has moved from the centre position where he has been most of the season out onto the left wing for Eastern Suburbs.
Dale Shearer running from dummy half. We're still about 7 metres outside the Manly quarter. Very much like a game of drafts at the moment. Pocock coming to grief there. He's trying to get himself powering forward, but they're stopping him before he can get there. Lyons. Good defence there from Truella, is the main contributor in that tackle. And there's a penalty. Failure to get away from the tackle player. Hall was the other defender on that occasion, but that man there, Truella.
Well, Cliff Lyons is going to attract them like flies all afternoon long. Teams that win competitions rely upon good half 5-8 combinations, and Cliff Lyons calls the shots for Manly. They've had the fortnight's layoff now. If there's any communication problems for the Sea Eagles, it'll be around the rucks. Cliff Lyons has got to be dominant, and so is Malcolm Cochrane out of the dummy half role.
Well, there's a terrible mistake by Manly, failing to find touch from a penalty. Gilmeister away to Shepherd. Shepherd's got it out to McGahn. McGahn on the fly to Spina. Spina hit hard by Lyons, stopped him dead in his tracks. That was a fierce tackle, came in very, very strongly. And Spina looks down. Now Williams is being called out. Well, there was the Lions tackle. And he's going to talk to Williams about coming in on the fallen player. to Eastern Suburbs. Smith to take the kick. Well, that's a good healthy punt too by G. He's got some weight behind his boot. That's gone 11 metres into Manly's half. Simpkins onto Shepherd. Shepherd taken hard and high, got it to pass away somehow. I don't know how, but he got it to Simpkins. Tuella onto Rampling. Spina. Hall. Melrose stopped dead in his tracks by Williams. Oh, hell's bells. This is torrid stuff out in the backs, I can tell you. There's a Manly player down in the background on the other side. If you can take a sighting on that one, David. But,
I think it might be Michael O'Connor, actually, the man that's down injured, but it was a solid tackle on Rampling, and he's paid the penalty.
There's a forward pass now. O'Connor is going to be a little bit belated in getting up. He's taken a heck of a knock. Now, Daly's just been spoken to by the referee. Shearer coming up to play in O'Connor's position. Vorton's moved out into the backs at the moment. It's a Manly feed. Hasler's got it. Got a good pass away to Lyons. Lyons standing in a tackle, trying to get round Hall, but this young fella's come on a pace this year. Got a Davis the wing. He's about 3 metres short of the halfway line. Cochrane heard a late call from Vorton. Vorton goes up the blind side for a gain of about 7 metres. Hasler. Oh, he's broken them up. He's made a break. He's got the pass away to Shearer. Shearer back to Vorton. The pass gets intercepted there by Simpkins. And that was a golden opportunity for Manly. And another penalty to Eastern Suburbs. And now we've got a touch judge in.
We've also got Michael O'Connor still in a whole heap of trouble. Certainly Bob Fulton might be looking to the reserve grade side for a replacement and use that headbin to try and get O'Connor back on deck.
Yes, well, the trainer there with O'Connor is holding up a finger saying, how many do you see? He's in Disneyland at the moment on the tap restart. Daly's monstering him, getting him back. Oh, he's driven him back about 10 metres. Good stuff from the big fella. On a Shepherd winding up. Worth at dummy half. Way to Spina. Spina back to McGahn. Looks for support. That was the switch move they use. Go the open, then cut it back to the blind. McGahn at dummy half. Around about halfway. Spina. He's made a break, and it's a good one too. He's got right through the gap, looks back on the inside, gets it back inside to French. French taken out of the play by Vorton with a good tackle. Good ball and all tackle, holding him down. There'll be a penalty if he doesn't. Brendan Hall gets it a pass away. The kick's gone there, and it's been miraculously saved by Shearer, has it? Well, Slippery Morris somehow got himself involved in that.
And Manly just hanging off somewhat that allowed that initial break, but Shearer getting back to claim it, and Morris himself, but McCallum ruling the knock on by Morris.
Well, it's a Manly feed, Des Hasler, and there's a penalty straight away. This is against Eastern Suburbs for pirouetting the scrum around, moving the scrum around, not packing square on. Shearer. Good torpedo punt, takes play beyond the quarter line. Daly came away with about a 10-metre gain there. Cochrane. Gibbs stands in a tackle. Belted to the ground. Rampling was the prime mover in that. Well, that could have been a penalty to Manly there. There was an Eastern Suburbs player lying between the play the ball and the dummy half. Gibbs. Hasler. Lyons. Kick downfield. It should find touch. No, it doesn't. It broke straight ahead. Morris away to Worth. Worth goes across field looking for support. Hasler's there. They've got him hemmed off, and he's made a net gain of about 2 metres in a 40-metre gallop. Smith. Tuella. Hall stands in a tackle, gets the ball back. Gibbs intercepts. Now Manly in possession, only about 30 metres out from the Eastern Suburbs line. Clear. Vorton. decides to straighten it up. There were too many up on the outside, quickly on his own back line. Cochrane, Daly. Got a pass away, back to Cochrane. Vaughton, Lyons. Got a pass there to Gibbs. Gibbs knocks on. It's a bit of wasteful football from Manly. Yes, let's have a look at these lower grade results. The teams that have won will go through into the grand final. St George and the under-23s defeated Parramatta 22-16, and Penrith completely outclassed the Manly reserve grade side 22-6. Well, there's a penalty against the Manly side for collapsing the scrum. As you can see, the entire front row went down there. Well, Big Crusher Cleal on screen at the moment is, after about 16 minutes, hasn't taken any part in the game at this stage. Smith's torpedo punt over the sideline on the halfway line. Now Simpkins will tap it. Gives it to Smith. Smith to McGahn. And a net loss there of ground, but he gets up and plays it to Smith. Away to Shepherd. A nice pass to Rampling. Rampling gets the pass away. It's gone to ground. I think Davis has fallen on it for Manly. Lyons. Shearer. Straight away decked by 2 or 3 players, and he's lost the football. Well, a very untidy opening to this game. There's a heck of a lot of lost ball. Neither side commanding great respect at the moment. Melrose, the dummy back to Worth. Melrose at dummy half. Truella, Smith tackled beautifully. Bronson was the man. Melrose at dummy half again. Gibbs puts him away. Hall runs from dummy half. He's very nearly through the gap. Got himself into the quarter. Couple of tackles to go. Gill needs to come straight and hard there. Is within a short 10 metres of the Manly line. Spina, the little kick through, beautifully half volleyed by Williams. Magnificent. So Manly back in possession. See it again. A great half volley. Cochrane runs crossfield. Actually, he's lost ground there. That's about 1.5 metre loss. Hasler. Spring-heeled runner. Makes it nearly to the quarter. Still no score in the match. And the Manly side having a great deal of difficulty getting through a pretty well-drilled Eastern Suburbs defence. Shearer gets it downfield. It's end over end. Worth fields at 10 metres from his line on the second bounce. He runs into a swarm of trouble there. Melrose makes the dummy half move. Smith standing on the open side of him. Goes round now. And he's driven backwards 1 metre. They're about 1.5 metres outside their quarter. McGahn, Spina, Shepherd, and Hall dropped the ball with nobody in front of him. And an overlap on the outside to Slippery Morris. There was a golden opportunity there for a long run. Well, there it was. Yes, Paul Vaughton's taken a long while to recover from the knock. This is the occasion that he went down. I think he copped the elbow of Lyons. I think that's how that came about. Melrose, cut out pass to McGahn. Vaughton has been taken off the field, and we're going to have a replacement, David?
Yes, Owen Cunningham in 21, the man in picture, has come on. The young fellow that came on at Brookvale Oval for a first-grade debut earlier this year and had an outstanding game. But Paul Vaughton into the head bin for stitches to the cut to the right eye.
Well, Owen Cunningham has performed admirably on the occasions he's been brought on as a replacement for Manly in past games, so I don't think they'll be weakened in any great way by his loss. By the loss of Vaughton, rather. Hasler. Pass back inside to Cochrane, to Lyons. Taken out of it by Simpkins. Right on the halfway line. Daly streaming forward, looking for support. He's made a good break. Gets a pass away there to Cochrane. Cochrane stands in a tackle, got a pass away there. I think it's been taken by Crusher Cleal, who's trying to get to his feet. Lyons gets it, and it's going to be a penalty. Failed to let the player get to his feet. It was Davis instead of the call I made was Cleal. So Davis was the wing three-quarter who wasn't allowed to get to his feet correctly. Taking a long time to have a look at this. Gets the points, so Manly have hit the front, and it's taken a long, long while. We've been going for 28 minutes. Manly 2, Eastern Suburbs 0. I noticed Tony Rampling going up the left-hand touchline. There he is in the bottom of his screen without a shoe at the moment. He's going to play on with it, is he? No, he's going to play on without a boot. Well, I would suggest that that's against the rules. But he needs to have a pair of boots on, not just one. We won't cavil at it. Shearer. Tackled just as he comes to the quarter line. Bronson at dummy half. McGowan takes him in a head tackle, but it wasn't a dangerous head tackle. It was just an arm around the shoulders. Cunningham goes away for a bit of a sprint there. Trevor Patterson's coming on for somebody. Tony Rampling, yes, that's correct.
He's coming on for Rampling. I think he's using the torn boot as the headbin, Rex, using the rules pretty loosely.
Well, Paul Borton's okay and about to make a reappearance on the field. Just the bare 8 stitches he's had by, gee, they're hard men, aren't they? Now here's Daly again. They gave him an instant medical on that occasion with his jaw. He survived it. Cochrane, Hasler, Shearer. Just getting in behind Lyons there. I wouldn't have been surprised had he not been penalised, but the referees thought better of it. Williams, the kick downfield. Well, it's going to be a very good kick. Oh, is it? No, it's not. By heavens. Worth took the odds to that. Didn't go for it. Then the ball popped up on its end beautifully for him. Only about a centimetre in from the sideline. Melrose. Throws the dummy. Takes the heavy tackle from Gibbs. Patterson. Out there to French. 2-0 the score. We're having about 4 minutes and a half to the half-time break. Well, Crusher Cleal got involved with a bit of defence work there. Slippery Morris. McGowan. Dummies. Back to Truella. Last tackle coming up now. What are the tactics? Well, Patterson's gone downfield for the run. The chase. Well, surely he's not onside. Smith, is he? Patterson threw the ball behind him. The ball's been kicked ahead. Williams will get to it and allows it to go over the touch-and-goal line. Well, I don't know what Patterson was thinking of there, that running downfield before the kick was taken. There's the flick pass that came to grief. Cochrane comes away with it. 3 minutes, 52 seconds to half-time. Out to Vorton. Good pass there out to Ronson. Just looking at Vorton's right eye, it's a mess. It really is. On a Cleal. Trying to burst his way through. It does take several men to pull him down. That's one of the values of him. Hasler. They've handled Hasler very well. Cochrane. gets another kick or gets another penalty. They were inside the 5 yards. It's right on the halfway line, so he's going to have to kick the touch. Now here's Rampling with his new boot coming out, which I think hardly fails to be the head bit. Anyway, we'll leave that for the Rugby League to sort out. On to Pocock. Trying to get to his feet quickly. Cochrane. Hasler. One-handed pass away to Vaughton. Vaughton steams ahead, gets to within 11 metres. Good chance for Manly now to get on the board. Pass looked a little bit forward to Crusher Cleal. Just a touch and the pressure's off.
And the hand was going up there from Malcolm Cochrane too, just yelling out to Crusher there, when you're going to come, make sure you come from the deep. Manly forwards on occasion standing too flat as we see Patterson make his way off and Rampling back out there.
2 minutes exactly to half-time. Spina's got the ball in his hands. He's beaten Vaughton. Hasler comes away and Lyons comes across and picks him off very nicely. Will seem to lose the football there, so Manly have still got some pressure they can apply here with a scrum feed by Des Hasler.
And only about a minute and a half, so with the feed from Manly, the Eastern Suburbs back line is flat. So many times you see a side now use the option of a kick into the in goal.
Manly will go the open through. Hasler got a pass away beautifully to Williams. Williams has got it away up to Ronson, and Ronson's going to score. He's going to go around a little bit. That's a good try at a critical moment. In the last couple of minutes before half-time, Manly's Ronson has gone in for a good try. Good quick hands to Williams. See it again.
On the State Bank replay, one of the most difficult positions on the field to defend. Scrum set nearly in the middle of the field, and we saw Cliff Lyons used as a dummy as he went back to the blind side. Hasler didn't decide to pass to Lyons, used the option and went out wide. And some beautiful passing from the Manly backs. He got outside, just outside Brendan Hall, enough to drag in the defences of the Eastern Suburbs centres, and some great passing, long passing, and right in front of the man bursting onto it. Perfect Rugby League to take this advantage just before the break. You saw Lyons try and dummy himself to the blind. That was the all-important pass from Hasler that dragged in the defence. Left the way open for Ronson, and he charged onto the ball. Cruella tried to get there in vain, but what an important try for Manly.
Not an easy angle for around the corner kicking. Well, not an easy angle, but he's really managed it with a beautifully caressed kick. He really failed to belt that. He just caressed it. So at the half-time break, we've got a scoreline that reads Manly 8, Eastern Suburbs 0. The try came to Ronson. You remember it. It just happened just a few seconds before half-time. And goals 2 from 2 to Michael O'Connor. Eastern Suburbs yet to get on the board. A magnificent day out here with a great crowd. I don't know what it is, but we're hopeful of seeing some more excellent football in the second half. I'll be back then. Manly's coming back onto the field at the moment. Eastern Suburbs are already out there. Easts are facing a deficit of 8 points to 0. And they'll have it all to do. The wind appears negligible. There are no changes on either side, David.
No changes. There is a little bit of concern about Brendan Hall. He's been playing with an injured knee for the last couple of weeks. He limped off at half-time. You might notice that his left leg is pretty heavily strapped. It'll be interesting to see how he performs in the opening 10 minutes of the second half.
And I must tell everybody a funny thing. Noel Kelly, the former international, who was a great personality in Rugby League, has finally given up the butchering business and gone into the boat business, would you believe? He's got houseboats on Barara waters. So, Captain Ned. Well, there was a knock-on from the kick-off. I think Williams was the player that put it down. Spina will have the feed. This game is not over by any means. Let nobody be under any illusions. Eastern Suburbs are capable of scoring long tries, and plenty of them. Simpkins going from dummy half, trying that little pivot that he's made part of his game. Chuella, McGahn looking for Melrose. Melrose gets it downfield. It'll go to Shearer. On the bounce. Well, he made heavy weather of getting outside his quarter there. There were 3 tacklers there. Bronson coming in, taking the load off the forwards, as all the wingers do these days. It's a good ploy. Hasler, back to Ronson. Ronson, a net gain of about a yard there. Cochrane. Shearer's kick downfield, goes to work, beautifully taken, positioned himself magnificently, went down to it. He's tackled on the halfway line. Milrose, a long cut-out pass out to Hall. He's carrying that strapping on his knee. He did last week too. McGann looking for the inside pass there. Crusher Cleal comes up with another solid tackle. Truella ran out of traction there. He tried to run from dummy half and his feet went from under him. McGann. Last tackle coming up now. Shearer standing at fullback, shielding his eyes. He's not going to get a chance to take this bomb because it hasn't gone far enough. Hasler takes it. He goes straight down. A Manly player falls over him. I think it was Williams. Shearer just angling there slightly sideways and not being able to get a go on. Pocock. That's a good tear-away run, about 14 or 15 metres. Cochrane. Hasler. Lyons. Or threw the ball anywhere. That was ridiculous. He was looking for an outside pass on Williams, and Williams had overrun him. Good run here by... Oh, he's going to score a try on his own by the look of it. No, he's not. Yes, he is. The referee. No, he's ruled a double movement. The referee has ruled a double movement. It looked a doubtful one to me, but I would see that again and see what you think yourself.
Well, he certainly could have kept his mind on the job. I think that his momentum was still carrying. The ball hadn't reached the ground at any stage there. Shepherd right here, if he had have convinced himself that he was going to stride right out, he was looking for support. Now the tackle was still taking him. Well, I'm going to call that a try for Eastern Suburbs. Manly have got to get their mind back on the job. Their forwards especially, they've got to control this ball and finish or start this second half rather than the way they finished the first half. They've come up with another error now. They're the ones that match fitness-wise won't be finishing on in this game. You would expect Eastern Suburbs to finish the stronger.
Rampling and Cochrane going at it. I believe that Rampling probably started it, but the referee's going to adjudicate on this. See what you think. Well, it's only push and shove after all. There's not a blow being thrown in anger in that lot. The penalty's gone to Eastern Suburbs, and he'll take a kick at goal from about 4 metres outside his quarter. This is young Smith.
And that's a change of ideas from the tactics of Hugh McGann as well. He declined the opportunity to kick from a better position in the first half. That was the 2 points that went begging, and Hugh McGann was the man that lost the ball on the occasion following that decision. So whether or not something's been said at half-time by Arthur Beetson, he's now decided to turn around to take the 2 points here.
Artie Beetson there taking a long look at this. In the stand, David Smith. 8 points to 0. Critical kick because it puts them back within trying a goal of being a drawn game at that stage. Smith, 4 metres outside the quarter, 10 metres in from the sideline. No goal taken by Shearer. He's evaded 2 tackles, brings it out 10 metres. Good stuff. Shearer taking a long while to get to his feet. Away to Crusher Cleal. I think Crusher's probably been told he's got to get a lot more involved in the second half. Gibbs took heavy treatment there. Rampling was one. Pocock winds it up the blind side. Away to Shearer. Gets a kick downfield again. It's gone straight to Worth. Worth runs up and gets a heavy tackle there from Michael O'Connor and Lyons. McGann. Morris. Caught by Pocock. And Daly came in to finish it. 10 metres from the halfway line. Truella through the gap. Couldn't get his hands free. Had support on the outside. Tony Melrose. Slippery Morris runs from dummy half. Gets caught on the quarter line by Gibbs. Spinner. Hall, McGann, long cut-out pass out to French, taken straight away by Davis. McGann, Melrose, dummied, but a pass back, it's been intercepted by Michael O'Connor. I thought the pass was forward marginally, but he's taking a long while to get to his feet. Davis upended very smartly. Cochrane at dummy half. On to Williams. Flicked a pass away to Gibbs. Gibbs has gone through one tackle, two. Ends up on the ground with French and McGann on top of him. Davis. Hasler. Incredible surge this player's got when he goes to go between two defenders. Crusher cleared up the blind side, ran straight over the top of French. Straight over the top of him. Cochrane. Thornton, the kick has gone up in the air. Not going anywhere. Lyons takes it, drops it. Picked up again, now knocked on this time. Well, the scrum midfield now, right in the dust bowl there, which used to be the cricket pitch. Williams limping back into position. Eastern Suburbs come over with it. Hall, cut out pass to Worth. They chase him across field and into touch. That's bad play by Eastern Suburbs. Very bad. Michael O'Connor used his pace. See it here.
Good defence from O'Connor. He showed the sideline there to Worth, and the fullback doesn't need to be told here that he's come up with a major error. And Manly, who have been under a lot of pressure now, get the first opportunity to get back inside Eastern Suburbs territory with this scrum feed.
Hasler. Lyons, cut out pass to O'Connor. Got a pass away there to Williams. Lyons back on the inside to Williams. Back to Cochrane, who's been looking for a run but hasn't had one yet. Gibbs running from dummy half. Good strong diagonal run. Hasler goes off on a gallop. He's tearing through and he's up to the quarter. Good play. Shearer, Vaughton, Lyons, slips, pivots, tries to go back on the inside there. Vaughton. Shearer puts the bomb up, comes through. It hasn't gone very far. Worth makes a meal of it. Fallen on by Gibbs. Manly 6 to go. Inside the quarter. Lyons to Shearer. About 18 metres out from the Eastern Suburbs line. Hasler to Vaughton. Very powerful play. Gets up, plays it forward as he's entitled to do. Goes to within 3 metres of scoring. Where's Crusher Cleal? Hasler. Lyons back on the inside to Crusher. He couldn't make the proper impetus to get himself over. He's played it forward and has scored. No, he hasn't. He's offside. Walked off the mark, played it, kicked it ahead. The ball ricocheted into an Eastern Suburbs player. See it again.
Well, he's ruled here that Field didn't play the ball properly in the fashion in bringing it up with him and then placing it onto the ground to release it. So all that opportunity lost for Manly, but that was what I was talking about in the first half. Manly, no doubt, Bobby Fulton talking to them at halftime. The option being used when those Eastern Suburbs defences come up out wide, use Crusher back inside off Cliff Lyons.
Well, the kick is not a bad one. It takes play out to the quarter. French, the winger, comes centre. Truella mounts a charge up the middle. McGann, spinner, back to Gilmeister. Shepherd dropped it, picked up by Williams. Pocock's got it. Goes back towards the eastern suburbs line. Ball's been kicked through yards, and it's a penalty against Laurie Spina for lifting his foot before the ball was down. Michael O'Connor, 2 goals from 2 attempts. The last one was a very, very good effort. We'll see what he comes up with on this occasion. 9 metres outside the quarter. By G's made no mistake, 3 from 3, Michael O'Connor. Manly 10, Eastern Suburbs 0. Hasler. Ronson, a player that's come on apace this year, was not a regular first grader at the start of the season. He's minimised all the errors that he had in his game, and it's good stuff. Ron Gibbs has gone right through the middle of the ruck. He's looking for support. He can't get a pass away. That's okay. Start again. 8 metres out from the opposition's quarter line. Away to Michael O'Connor. Michael O'Connor drops the ball forward. Just dropped it. Well, astonishing.
Get him low, bro. Get him low.
French caught by Davis. And Daly's going to be called out for this. See it again. Yes, David?
Yes, Trevor Patterson, the man that's come on. He'll come on for Simpkins, which will mean it appears the man coming off is the prop forward Shepherd. So that's the replacement. We also have Leggett warming up on the touchline. Pocock's back on the bench on the sideline here after being in the head bin. So replacements happening all over the place. But the big one is that Jeremy Ticehurst is about to come on, warming up on the touchline for Michael O'Connor, who has requested 5 or 10 minutes in the head bin.
Simpkins, Patterson. It's not a bad time to bring replacements on halfway through the half. 20 minutes to go. Still plenty of venom in the tackling of both sides. Truella to Spina. The dummy out to McGann. And he's being tackled a fair bit today. Spina. Young Hall gets through one tackle of Lyons, but Hasler was able to get to him. Got a pass back inside to Rampling. Rampling loses the ball forward. Yes, Jeremy Ticehurst coming on now. I think Michael O'Connor will come off and Ronson will probably go into the centre. Yeah, Pocock's the man coming on. What a great riches the Manly side have got, though. 138 points Mal Cochran scored for Manly, so they're not losing too much in the goal-kicking department with O'Connor coming off either. Pocock waiting to go on there on the sideline with the touch judge. Now they'll be penalised unless they get their scrum straight. It's one against the feed. It's good stuff from Eastern Suburbs, using the ball out to McGann. McGann to Spina. The crowd are coming alive. Spina's on the move. Tries to get a pass away, does so. And that player's been put down only about 3 metres out. Out to Hall. Hall, a long cut-out pass to Smith. Smith got a pass away to French, and French is in for a try, and it'll look forward to me. I think Mr. McCullum's made a blunder. The pass looks a foot forward.
I also thought that the break by Laurie Spina earlier on the pass that went back inside was forward, but this is the one coming up now as Melrose takes them on out wide. Oh, touch and go situation. As French charged onto that ball, but even the one earlier, as I said, I thought was forward from Spina to Worth. So here we're coming out wide, and Melrose will be the man with the ball, trying to draw the centre's defensive in. He just goes past that line there. If we can see if he hands this ball forward. Manly players had no hesitation, calling Cliff Lyons in back play and Stuart Davis calling for the forward pass. McCallum said no, and Eastern Suburbs back in to open this semi-final, certainly open once more.
So now the score in this wide-open semi-final. Manly 10, Eastern Suburbs 6. Lyons. He's right through. Gets the pass back on the inside to Williams. He's lost the ball. The ball's been kicked through, and it's a penalty to Manly, holding a tackle, holding a player away from the ball.
And there's no doubt about it, when Cliffy Lyons turned and looked back inside, David French was the man that had hold of the Manly support players. So he had no hesitation whatsoever. As Cliff Lyons looks back inside, there's French hanging onto the jumper already in the arm of Williams. So another opportunity for 2 points now, and a fairly good position for Malcolm Cochrane.
From 5 metres outside the quarter. And I suspect it's about 15 metres to the left. If he's concerned with the crowd, are giving him a real workout. There they go. And he's missed it. So the score remains Manly 10, Eastern Suburbs 6. The redeeming feature of the kick was that it was kicked dead, so Manly should get the ball back. Well, he's a couple of minutes late. Michael O'Connor's coming back on the field. Well, he's caught by the jumper by McGann in an unconventional tackle, but very effective. Shearer stepped and weaved his way through 3 or 4 of them there. Out to Vaught, out to Lyons. Lyons dummies, goes back on the inside, looking for support, couldn't get a pass away. Cochrane. Vaught. Gibbs was on his shoulder, but couldn't get the ball. Crusher Cleal. Out to Hasler. Hasler back inside to Lyons. Lyons will go all the way. No, he's got him for a double movement.
Well, I can't believe it. This is the 3rd ruling against the double movement in the semi-final action this weekend. This has got to be a try for Manly. The momentum's carried him across the line. The top half of his body's ended up going across this try line. I really can't believe the crackdown by both referees this weekend. See it for yourself as he bounces. He just hits. Look, his waist and legs have gone across the try line. That's a try to Manly.
Mr. McCallum in all sorts of trouble at the moment. One would suggest that he's trying to be so fair to either side that he's lost control of the game slightly. Referee, that was a tackle, according to him, across the chest. Little kick over the top, taken by Lyons. That was Simpkins who did the kick. The referee's down. He's been run into by Paddy Borton. He's in some trouble. Let's see it again, because that was a hell of a thud. Here it was, the kick over the top. The players coming through. And, well, we're not with the action on that occasion. Eastern Suburbs scrum win. Out to Hall. Away to Milrose. Belted. McGann. Slippery Morris. He's made some good inroads, and he's taken out of it and over the sideline by Shearer.
So there's no doubt that the match fitness might be catching up with Manly, struggling a little bit as we go to the last 5 minutes. Dale Shearer, though, the man with plenty of pace. Stevie Morris, I thought, might have chipped ahead to try and get around him.
Out the Manly side, Hasler runs across field. Shearer from dummy half tries to go ahead, but he's tackled straight away. Davis. Truella was there with the lifting of the legs. Gibbs.
On behalf of the players, thank you.
Just a few more metres. Cochrane. Shearer had to dummy as the defence came to him. The ball's gone down to Worth, who'll field it. There's plenty of tacklers there. Now they upend him on the quarter line, just outside it. Lyons. He's done about 15 tackles, all of them good ones. Oh, there's a tackle. Williams on Melrose. Really belted him. We'll keep a countdown for you. We're inside the last 5 minutes. Eastern Suburbs moving it around like a hot potato at the moment. Gary Worth tackled by O'Connor. Melrose, long cut-out pass. The pass probably went forward. It did.
And Madison's coming on.
And now Gibbs has diving to attempt to get that ball, has damaged himself in some way. Yes, David, the replacement?
Yeah, well, Gibbsy struggles in the centre of the field. The man coming off is Simpkins. Now, that'll cause a reshuffle in this Eastern Suburbs side. Truella will move from the lock forward role to hook for Eastern Suburbs. And Terry Madison coming on the under-23 lock forward. He'll wear number 34.
Well, Gibbs came in there hurtling to dive on a loose ball that was on the ground. You can see the way he came in. And he's landed, I would imagine he's damaged his shoulder in some way, with his arm extended to the full. Owen Cunningham is apparently going to be the replacement.
Yes, he's the man coming on. Gibbsy is getting to his feet, and Cunningham's been called back, in fact. So the Iron Man, Ron Gibbs, lives on for the last 5 minutes.
Well, the last 4 minutes, actually. Now, we've got the Manly trainer being told to come up. No, Gibbs is coming off now. He's finally given up. Hall's been tackled. About 12 metres out from his line. Out to McGard. Good strong defence there on French. Spinning it very wide, very quickly. Patterson's in possession. They've come up outside the quarter. They're approaching the halfway line. And there's the hooter. So Manly are into the grand final for 1987 to play the winner of the match next week between Eastern Suburbs and Canberra. So Arthur Beetson there has still got a week of his football to go, of his coaching. The score, as befitting a major semi-final, fairly low, 10 points to 6. Ronson scored a try for Manly. Goals 3 from 3 to O'Connor. For Eastern Suburbs, a try to French, and Smith 1 goal from 2 attempts. Manly 10, Eastern Suburbs 6.
Well, for the minor premiers, Manly just desserts for a great season straight into the 1987 grand final, and that sets up a replay situation next Sunday at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Of course, Eastern Suburbs lining up against Canberra, and I'm talking about a replay from their initial challenge in the first semi-final of the season. Who's it going to be? Just ask yourself if that fairy tale, as I said, and as I mentioned before, will continue for Canberra. I trust you've enjoyed all the action. I'm Graeme Hughes. Until next week, goodbye for now.
It all started more than 20 years ago, when many of us were still pups. 2 big men, though one was small in stature, gave birth to the Winfield Cup. Since that time there've been many who've played the game to the end. They played it tough, but they played it fair, and walked off the field as friends. That's what the big game's all about, giving it the best you can. Playing